Alright everyone, this is a quickish follow along build of the forged hybrid. So as most of you may know, whenever I do a new gunstock design, like proper gunstock with the carbon tubes, I try and do a DIY version. So a version where you can print the parts at home and build your own. One of the downsides of the print at home is it can be hard to source and cut the carbon tube. So I do a version specific for DIY where you can use wooden dowel instead. Either 18mm diameter wooden dowel, which is what this is, or 3/4 inch diameter wooden dowel, which is 19mm. If you go to the BowkVR Discord, there will be the print files. You can see all the printed parts here. There are 4 versions. There will be a left and right hand version, and 18mm and 3/4 inch for each of those. Choose which one you want to print based upon the dowel you can source. In terms of how much dowel length you need, for this stock it uses a total of just under 500mm, which is just under 2 feet of length. You should be able to get it from your local hardware store. Right, I'll do a quick run through of what we've got here in terms of the printed parts and all the other parts, and then get into the build. So print parts, so it'll just be one print pack, and it should print all the parts here. Front cup, front joint, mid joint, rear joint. Rear sliding element, this is a little sub-assembly, the butt piece, a sling mount, which you can choose where to put, but I'm going to place it there. This sort of taper locking interface, which slides onto there, which you ideally, if you have a bit of grease or something, put it on it, which slides onto there. This is the rear cup. The locking piece for stopping this sliding up and down. You sort of screw and can unscrew. And then, oh, actually, I've already shoved it in there. There's this tiny little piece here, which just goes into this to block out one of the hexes. You block out, because you can assemble it either handed. If you wanted, if you're left-handed, you can assemble it one way, or right-handed the other, just so that this screw piece is not going into your shoulder. Other parts, we have 11 wood screws. I think they're number 8 in terms of their diameter, and then length 3/4 inch. We have an M5x30 screw, machine screw, with an M5 nut. If you cannot access metric screws and nuts, let me know. It's close to a number 10, so 1032 or 1024. So I could quickly modify this part to suit. So let me know if you cannot access metric, and I'll just quickly make a version of this part, which will work. Right, the dowels themselves, we've got 4, the dowel's been cut into 4 pieces. A line has been scribed, a water line, so it's the same height all the way along. In the document we'll show you, which will accompany this, this video eventually, it will explain how to do that, but basically 4 pieces. Front piece is 100mm long. Put a hole 20mm in from each end. The hole's just there so that when you screw in, it doesn't split the dowel. 173mm long for the next piece back. A hole 20mm in from each end, and then 2 holes 24mm separated, and 48mm from the end to that one there. All these dimensions, again, they'll be in the document, but just I'll run through them quickly. 133mm long, 20mm in from each end. 86mm long, 20mm in from each end. That's basically it. I will quickly build this thing up and just talk as I go along. I've already put that piece in, so those who didn't see it should just push in there. And then this piece, you sort of have to go in and you push it up, and you rotate around, and it clicks in. Again, on this piece, you probably want to put a little bit of lubrication on it, a bit of grease, something like that, just to make it slide a bit. You push this in so that the head drops into the hex on the other side, and then this component here, you drop the M5 nut into there and push it in, and then you put it on like that. So the nut facing out, so that this part doesn't fall off. So that's that sliding element, and then it locks out. Okay, that's the rear piece, sort of sub-assembled. To terms of the rest of it, I can just work my way along. You can use a screwdriver. I'm going to cheat because I want to. I'm going to use this. I'll try and do this with everything visible, he says, whilst holding it off screen. What you might need is a gentle persuader, as in one of these. Gentle persuader. And you just want to line up that line, and that's just so that pieces aren't twisted. And then I'll just tap it in until that hole which I've made is visible, and then screw. And I'm just going to work my way along, making really annoying noises whilst I do it. You can sort of rotate and pull it on as you go, if needed, for a bit of extra leverage. This is actually my first time building the forged version of the hybrid, and I've decided to do it on camera, so this will be interesting. On this particular one, before I started the camera, it needed a hole on the other side, so there are some parts which have a hole on both sides. So I just used one of them and lined it up with the hole with the line side, and then used this hole to drill into it. So lined up one side because I want to transfer to the other side, use this to create the hole through, and now this hole is aligned with the water line on the other side. Line it up, screw it in. We can adjust these slightly after assembly to get everything lined up if needed, if it's a bit twisted. So I'm using this taper lock piece now. Same deal. So these go on those two 24mm separated holes. I'm not going to tighten this quite in one go when you put both in. I'm actually going to hand tighten this one just because I want to get a good feel for how. I don't want to twist it or anything. So that's that. Next joint back. Oh, this one's a bit tight. I should have probably done a bit of sanding beforehand, but that's all good. Lined up. So if it's a bit tight, you can either file down the inside of the 3D print, or you can sand down the dowel, because it's wooden dowel, which is pretty forgiving. Alright. Actually, I think it's going to be the same deal on this one, where I want the hole on the other side, so I can actually demonstrate how I do that. I'm going to put my sling mount here. So sling mount's going to go. Sorry, I keep doing stuff off camera because I need leveraging against my body a little bit, just to put it roughly there. I'm going to bias it towards my body because I'm right-handed. I'm going to bias it that way just to make it correct itself a little bit. And this is where I will just put a little pilot hole, just so I don't split the dowel, especially when you're partway along. The ends are a little bit supported by the 3D print, whereas this is not as supported because it's not as encapsulated. So yeah, a bit of turning gets it lined up. So this one, you can see the line doesn't line up with this side because the water line's on the other side. So what I'm going to do is line up this side and then drill in there. Sorry. That went in there. Right, that goes in there. That goes down and there. Screws in there. This goes on the end like that. Again, same deal. Doesn't line up with the water line. It does on this side, but I want to screw it from the other side, so I will just screw it from the other side now. drill it, and screw it. Sorry, I'm off the camera here because I want to hold the thing properly. And that is your gunstock made. It was pretty quick. All assembled. And there. And there. There. It's a hybrid. Yeah, works well. Alright, if you have any questions, come to the Discord. The link to the Discord will be in the video description. Otherwise, have a good day. Thanks.